Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with some Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube stuff. We've got over 2,100 audios available for your listening pleasure. Hoping to double that in the new year. Anyway, this is the Superstars of Wrestling 9 10 94 edition. Of course, we return to Superstars 10 episodes up on Peacock. We've got a bunch of episodes, probably about 230, 240 or so episodes here. We open with a tag team match, Nick Barbary and Tom O'Sullivan versus Shawn Michaels and Diesel. Shawn Michaels and Diesel, your new tag team champions for the time period. Of course, they are being really pushed very strongly. Michaels peppering his guy with a couple of shots and a couple of forearms, slaps and basic stuff here. Michaels and Diesel, of course, very good friends at the time. Diesel tags in, comes in, and hits a couple flipper forearms, and jumps across the man's throat, and ultimately doesn't really seem to be all that concerned with much of anything. Also, Michaels hits a vertical suplex, also hits the suplex, and Diesel eventually hits the power bomb and a top rope splash combination from Michaels and Diesel, of course, being tag team champions. Michaels, this match probably runs a little longer than it needs to, but the showcase on Michaels and Diesel, especially being that they are new champions, also being that they're kind of what's carrying the house shows. Some commercials, including commercials for SummerSlam, Slim Jims, and Ico Pro along the way. Still pushing Ico Pro here. Basically, they're also pushing the Heart Attack Tour, which is running post SummerSlam. Bret Hart, Owen Hart coming back post the cage match that could have been considered the blow off and doing the cage match around the horn. Jim Neidhart is out next with a singles match. Not exactly a stellar contest here, as Neidhart certainly at this time in 1994 having the ability to get a reaction from the crowd. Wouldn't necessarily say that he's getting a great reaction. Mike Marcella is the person that Neidhart beats in really quick order. Shoulder tackles, punches, kicks, forearms, and the like, and eventually a modified kind of sit-down camel clutch, for lack of a better term, by Neidhart. Not exactly a, not a Dave Meltzer five-star classic. Of course, who cares what Dave Meltzer thinks? But anyway, certainly not a match that has any long-term value. Body slam, probably the most high-impact match of the, or move of the match. And then we see the camel clutch, and Owen Hart also is there. They're trying to integrate themselves, is the WWF at the time, into society. They kind of do a Harley Davidson giveaway and celebrity dinner with various people being introduced, including IRS, Shawn Michaels, and other superstars. Why heels are doing charity events, I don't really quite understand, to be completely honest. Doink and Dink out next, getting in the face of Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler also humiliating Dink in the process, getting ready for the Survivor Series 1994 Doinks and Dink's deal there. We've kind of got Doink, who at this point is, I believe, Ray Apollo at the time. Matt Bourne had left. I think Steve Kern only did a couple. But this version of Doink, a little bit more basic, for lack of a better term. The Black Phantom is one of or the individual portraying that opponent for Doink in the moment. Doink hits an airplane spin, some body slams, Samoan drop type stuff, and almost like an AA of John Cena. Doink eventually hitting the whoopee cushion and getting the victory in the process. Doink certainly not doing a heck of a lot. A promo for Raw there, and then there's some hype of last week with the Guns and the Heavenly Bodies making fun of each other. Decent Jim Cornette promo with the Heavenly Bodies, making fun of the Smoking Guns, including wearing a cowboy hat, and Cornette interviewing, or Ray Rougeau interviewing them, basically calling them both the Smoking Guns, rednecks, hillbillies, and stupid. and kind of trying to hype that series of promos pretty intently there, and the Heavenly Bodies exiting in a order after stomping cowboy hats trying to get heat. Actually, looking back, the Smoking Guns a lot better tag team than they were given credit for at the time. Although the standard for wrestling has certainly fallen since 1994. Speaking of fallen, Bam Bam Bigelow, still a pretty big deal here. Bigelow coming in, and this is, a few months from the um, run with none other than LT Lawrence Taylor getting ready for the WrestleMania deals. That starts in January, so kind of looking directionless here in September. Tony Roy is the man the Bigelow is with, and Bigelow hits some headbutts, punches, kicks, basic stuff. Roy gets sent to the outside of the ring, no real challenge there. And then we see Adam Bomb, kind of squaring off with Bigelow, setting up kind of a sweep deal here, and Bomb avenging the enhancement talent abuse, for lack of a better term, and then we see a short, albeit I guess you'd say, um, you know, babyface confrontation, Bigelow and Adam Bomb. Of course, at the time, Adam Bomb, a pretty major babyface. Selling more merchandise as we go forward. The Head Shrinkers, the former tag team champions out here, of course, losing the championships to Shawn Michaels and Diesel at a house show. Lou Albano out there with a few, I guess you'd say, short run deals there. And the Head Shrinkers, certainly a team that everybody respects. At this point, Sabu and Fatu, although not exactly, your big deal there. Actually, they still are, I guess, legally the champion. When this is taped, but they lose the titles. They face off against Mike Bell and Tony DeVito. DeVito going on to be in the position of, I guess you'd say, a above level guy in terms of being, a eventual member of the Baldies in ECW. Mike Bell featured in a bodybuilding documentary, and he does a good bit of continual brawling and basic stuff. We also see Shawn Michaels and Diesel do an inset promo along the way. The Head Shrinkers are pretty consistent here, and Head Shrinkers hit some headbutts, double team, flapjack, and then the top rope splash. Top rope splash actually seeming to be a pretty major thing. Also more hype for the SummerSlam video release, including Lex Luger promising to get even with none other than Tatanka with the betrayal. Steve King, local area enhancement talent in the New England area, trained by Killer Kowalski. He's going to have the unenviable task of going at it with Yokozuna. Punch, kick, basic stuff. Yokozuna, belly-to-belly suplex, and the bonsai drop. Yokozuna, of course, on a collision course with The Undertaker at the time, wanting that opportunity to wrestle The Undertaker. Leg drop and belly-to-belly and bonsai drop for Yoko, leading him to a victory. There is a modified cooking segment, almost a takeoff on the TNT thing, going forward, as it were, there in a pretty intense way going forward, with the babyface Head Shrinkers kind of making things a little goofy. We will be back with more right after this.